So I just had this video fall on my lap. And again, every time it's my standing prayer with the Father to always show me what He wants me to see today. And if it's a message to share, then I need to share it. So this one undoubtedly needs to be highlighted because you need to be able to see and compare and know what it looks like to discern between the lies and the truth. Okay? You have to remember, deception is going to be so great and convincing that it would lead even the elect astray, if possible. Okay, read this really carefully in the scripture. For false messiahs and false prophets could also be false book of scripture, or what looks like scripture. Okay, prophets, right? False prophets, putting words in prophets' mouths or attributing works to prophets that they themselves never said or did. Okay, that's what the false prophets all includes here. For false messiahs and false prophets will arise and perform great signs and wonders to lead astray, if possible, even the elect. The reason it's not possible to deceive the elect because they are spiritually born again of the Ruach of Yahuwah, and they will be able to discern between the truth and the lies. Okay, now when this person sent me this video, I saw straight through it. Straight through it. Because Father has been good, He's been gracious, He has shown me what the mark of the beast is. And I have been basically screaming this from the rooftops for the last 2 to 3 years, starting on my YouTube channel. Nobody's picking it up. Nobody's picking it up. Not hardly anybody's picking this up. And because they're not understanding what the mark of the beast is, they are going to fall prey to this. And they're also going to, like I said, they're not seeking Father. Whenever you get something like this, you have to always turn right around and talk to Father. That was the sin in the garden that put mankind where we are today. Adam and Eve did not seek Father for guidance and wisdom. They just jumped right on board and took what Satan had, okay? They didn't stop and think, and they didn't question Father first. They took what they did, not relying on the Father like they should have. Now, I'm going to play through this video and I'm going to highlight a few things, because the other thing that Father has shown me is exactly how Satan, the enemy, works. I know his MO. He doesn't change. He has no new tricks. There's nothing new under the sun, as it says in Ecclesiastes. Satan is a prideful narcissist, and narcissists will always gaslight you and cast blame on those that they hate for doing exactly the same things that they themselves are doing. Okay? Keep that in mind as we go through this video. Because, oh my goodness, I was just like, we're not doing this. So,
First, in the Apocalypse of Adam, Adam reveals that God is...
Hang on.
These 3 books terrified the church. First, in the Apocalypse of Adam, Adam reveals that God is actually the devil, and that human bodies are a trap designed to keep souls in...
Okay, so, again, narcissistic gaslighting. Okay? Of course Satan's going to tell you that Father's the devil. Of course he's going to tell you that he trapped you in your bodies. Of course he's going to tell you all this stuff. Let me tell you what your bodies are. Your flesh is the mark of the beast. Okay? When you read the apocalyptic books, or the apocryphal books, if you read the apocryphal books and you read them in context and you ask Father for wisdom, you will see this. Adam and Eve, after they ate and they had fallen in sin, where it says he made coats of skins for them. Yes, he clothed them. They were light beings before, but then he gave them flesh. He gave them flesh because they had followed after Satan. He had marked them. They are now separated. Their light is now separated from him. Right? He has put that barrier, that separation on us. Boom. Okay? Our spirits died. He was basically burying our dead spirits in flesh. Okay? So, that's why we must be spiritually born again, so that we can be renewed and come out of the flesh eventually. Okay? He made a way. He is not this demonic being that out of his just huge amount of hate for his creation did this to us. It does not make any sense. And the spirit of confusion is of Satan, not Father. Okay? So, yes, we are in the flesh, but it wasn't because that was Yahuwah's will for us. No, he wanted us to have fellowship with him as the light beings that he created and continue on in that. But Satan came down and he corrupted it all. Okay? Keep listening.
Enslaved. It also reveals that God flooded the world because humans were becoming too smart.
Humans weren't becoming too smart. That's such a bullshit lie, Satan. Yahuwah rebuke you. Yahuwah rebuke the spirit on this video. For real. Humans became smart because if you read the apocryphal text, the fallen angels came down and taught mankind hidden knowledge. They weren't supposed to learn it at the time that Father gave it. It wasn't that Father was never going to give us, because if you know anything about what the plan is for us, anybody who's following after Yahusha and walking in the truth of the Torah, keeping Father's command for the nation, then you know he's going to continually teach us for eternity. We're going to continue to eternally learn in wisdom. That's a good Father's plan for his children. It wasn't that we were becoming too smart. It's that the fallen angels came down. They mated with human women. They created their Nephilim kingdoms, which you see in Tartaria, okay? And they were smart. Yes, they were smart because the fallen angels were teaching them the wisdom or the knowledge that Father didn't want us to have at the time.
Second, on the origin of the world, it declares that the world we live in is actually hell.
And you know what? There's that little piece of truth he throws in there. Because anybody who's had any experience in this life knows it is hell. It literally is. Yes, there's some bright moments we have, but overall, it's hell. And that's what happened. The earth fell when Satan caused Adam and Eve to sin. Yes, we live in hell. We live in a huge graveyard that most people don't even realize. We walk around on dead giants' bones. People don't realize that because they have not studied and they have not sought Father to gain the wisdom, so they understand this, so they don't fall prey to these deceptions. And yes, this man all dressed in white and he looks really etheric or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, like I said, remember, Satan has many disguises, people.
Know who it says is the dark ruler of this hell world? You guessed it, the God of the Bible.
Of course. Yahuwah is Satan again. Aw, Satan, you're so pathetic.
It also reveals that Eve is actually a goddess of life, and she was the one that gave life to Adam because the Creator God didn't know how.
Oh my goodness. Please tell me you are not believing this. Please. This is absolutely... No, Adam was created first. And Eve was created from his side. The rib is mistranslated. Wow. People, please study. The reason I see through this and I can laugh in Satan's face is because I have been shown. I asked Father for the wisdom and he gave it to me graciously. Little by little, though. He's not going to stuff it in your face. You have to be able to learn little by little and understand. Otherwise, you will fall flat on your face.
Third, in the secret book of John, Jesus reveals the existence of a higher God known as the One that's infinitely more powerful than the God of the Bible.
The God of the Bible, the God of the Bible. Well, if you know anything and you listen to any of the teachings, the God of the Bible that they've written in today, that is Satan. And yes, there is the one, the Most High. See how this is twisted truth? Do you see how this is twisted truth? The God, G-O-D, in the Bible is Gadriel. That is Satan. And yes, Yahuwah, the Most High, is greater than him. Slight, twisted truth. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, no, do not fall for this BS. Search. I can't do it for you. This is why we have the parable in the Bible about the 10 virgins, the 5 wise and the 5 foolish, okay? The 5 foolish just go along with whatever anybody feeds them. They don't ever test it. Father Yahuwah himself has said that out of 2 or more out of the mouth of two or more witnesses is every fact established. Well, you have these little books, like I said, the false prophets that we talked about in Matthew 24, the false prophets that came out. Well, do you know that the book of 2 Peter is not written by Peter because it was written after Peter died? They put words in Peter's mouth. Because you can go read the other apocryphal texts that have Peter's writings, and you can see a clear difference between the tone, the style, all that kind of stuff of speech. 2 Peter was not written by Peter. Okay? They've been putting words, the lying pens of the scribes, Jeremiah 8:8, have been putting words in everybody's mouths. Even there, when I've been studying scripture in Matthew, there are words that they have put in Messiah's mouth. You will not discern this unless you are diligent in your study and seeking Father always for wisdom.
Like Adam, Jesus reveals that the Creator God is evil, who is trapping pieces of the one in bodies.
Okay, yeah. So, see, this is where we get into the New Age BS, and I'm going to stop right there because I'm not giving Satan any more time on my platform. So, please, friends, definitely study. You must ask Father which things you should study. There are some things that are a piece of garbage that are going to burn with the rest of the earth. Anything that is true and light, that when you have the Ruach and you start walking in it, in with her in the way, then you are going to see his word is a light unto my path. Yes, it is, absolutely. She will highlight the truth to you, and anything that is a lie will go dark, and then you'll have clear discernment. You'll be able to see straight through this kind of BS. Okay, so I had to make this. Father's like, show him how you discern, show him what I've taught you, show him all these things. That's what Father has shown me through years and years and years and years of deep study. I'm talking hours of study every day. And this is not for me to brag at all. This is what he's shown me. This is how I asked him for wisdom, and that's how he gave it to me, was through the study that I did. So if you want it too, ask him. Ask him, have him show you. He will lead you through the books that he wants you to lead to understand this truth. But again, the reason why people are going to fall for this BS is because they don't know the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is the flesh, and what we do in our thoughts and our hand. Okay? We have to be born again in order to enter into the narrow way, to proceed into our path and follow him, follow Yahusha. Otherwise, you're going to be trapped in all this crazy nonsense in the flesh. So I pray that you hear this in Yahuwah's name and Yahusha's blood to cover this message.